These citations to the hopeful elect individual, go with them. We are part of that number. So we just back out of just a quick camp lesson for today. And anybody got something they want to start off with? If you want to go back to what you started off with? Then chapter Timothy, chapter 2, verse 3. God careful, endure hardness and become chosen unto how he shall knock you out. We can make some truth. Don't matter what is himself with the account of his life, that he may please him who has chosen him to be a chosen. Because what you say, you're the hardness. All the tribulation is St. Mark, chapter 2, verse 1. My son, that thou come to serve Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation. You should have paid attention to what it says. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 3, and I always talk about that one right there. Yeah, in doing it, you're supposed to. I just want to sit up here and say something about that. You're supposed to do it out here. The time's going to come up, man. That spiritual be the shape when we come in, brother. We're going to have this physical counterpart, so-called white man coming at us. We're going to have our own people doing dumb shit. You so-called black Latinos and Native Americans. But you know what, as men of as prophets, we're supposed to endure everything. We don't sit up here and care about the subject, and care about the bullshit of this world. Like, with that Will Smith and that Chris Rock thing that happened. You're going to have simple-ass niggas who's going to entangle themselves in bullshit like that. But being of the Lord, the 1/3, beginning with the 144, we don't give a shit about that. That's bullshit.
That's why so long that the whole world.
Yeah.
It took the world and they the whole time Putin told America by that whole flashing thing. Putin went on and said that we're no longer accepting dollars for oil. We must pay for oil in the rubles. So now they're making a push to make the ruble the next world currency, man. Alright, we're showing you that. And look, if that happens, Esau will still be in power because Russia is still ran by Edomites. Alright, that's not going to happen, man. The Lord is gonna interrupt their enterprise, man. And then you got guys that's saying, remember the 19. This was when everything went digital. This is when technology went going inside of the bodies, man. So they already said that the start of this whole situation with the sickness was all a thing to get people to get the RFID chip and everything to go digital. Because now they know how to take biological and turn it into digital data. That tells you a lot. We're going to open up to this fucking metaverse shit that they already pushing, which is you already got them trying to sell and selling real estate through the metaverse. You got the NFTs, which is basically like skins that they selling for millions of dollars. They already pushing for to basically make it the next thing, man.
Book of Job. Book of Job, chapter 15, verse 5. For thy mouth utters that iniquity, and thou choose the tongue of the prophet. Thy own mouth condemns thee, and not I. Yea, thy own lips testify against thee. So these devils are coming out saying, hey man, we doing this, we doing that, man, we gonna do this, like the band, you know. So they telling you that they're gonna put, you know, a stamp under your skin, you know, and under your forehead, man, you know. So they just coming out and saying, man, you know, they know they're iniquity, man. They telling you that, hey man, you know, we gonna do this, you know, and that shit wicked as hell, you know. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and he that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down to me the great wrath, because he knows that he has no short time. And that's what, you know, just like we had sit up here and brought out and doing things as a good soldier, because we understand that this devil is going to come down with great wrath at some point. This devil is coming, it's going to come. It's going to come. We pray this year. I pray right now. You know? But my thing is, this devil is about to come with some great wrath. And you know what? Now people need to get their head out their ass, need to get their head out the clouds, need to quit sitting up here having their head dug in the sand, worrying about bullshit that don't mean nothing. Because here it is, this devil's about to crack down, man. You know, and it just so happens to be that one of the brothers did a lesson, and now I'm kind of like losing a little bit of train of thought. But he did a lesson about how all these things, all this stuff that comes out, and how people sit up here and get wrapped up into some of the bullshit that goes on. Like with the Chris Rock, with other things that happen to Cardi B. You got all sorts of shit that distract you.
If the day of the Lord should come much peace in the night.
Right. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 1. But the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night.
Right, so while the whole world is worried about everything, while the whole world is worried about everything, you know, simple shit.
Oh, sorry. It's lucky.
Simple things like Will Smith smacking Chris Rock, laughing at it at the same time. You know, we're showing that shit on stage. Right? While you got listening to Cardi B, next this and next that. Hey man, they're not paying attention to world currency. Alright? They're not paying attention to world currency. Alright, in a minute, shit, the dollar's really gonna be nothing. As soon as they make that switch, the whole planet is gonna go up. It's gonna go up at once because the pencil dollar, right, before they be able to set up another world currency, it's gonna have to reset. So it's gonna be it's gonna be worse than the Great Depression, man.
I may say, you know, I seen, you know, a Bitcoin machine inside a corner store, convenience store, you know. Now they got to be everywhere, you know. They gonna show you that the dollar is cool.
It's not even Bitcoin, because what's gonna happen is they're gonna make it to where Bitcoin and these other coins are gonna be obsolete. It's gonna be, you see, they're working on something called the U.S. coin and the Fed coin. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna roll out these. Every country is gonna have their own coin, man. You know, whether it be backed by whatever, you know, but it's all gonna be digital because they don't want privatized companies to be able to have their own currency because they don't have control over it. So they gonna create something where they can have control over it. But Bitcoin and Dogecoin and all of that ain't nothing but the prelude for them to set it up. Because the Bitcoin, me personally, I think that was set up by the elites. Because they don't even tell you who the creator of Bitcoin is. It's unknown. So that should tell you who's behind that shit. The elite. And then you gotta put that show, you gotta guess the fucking words.
Oh, Good Fortune?
Yeah, with the fortune, they had Bitcoin in the future. I was showing that the elite is one of the words, it was Bitcoin is the future. Alright, and we'll show you that the elite is behind that because they put it on their system. So it basically tells you digital currency is the future.
This book of 1 Thessalonians, I got one more, brother. This is the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them that dwell upon the woman with child, and they should not escape. You know, our people think it's cool, man, you know, all the distractions. People think that society's gonna go back to normal when it's not, man. You know, you got critical parents, you know, flashing right before your eyes, man. You know, you got families going on, you know. You got all types of madness going, war, pestilence, all that going on.
Biden just admitted to a famine coming. All right, matter of fact, it's Matthew 24. Biden just came out. Oh yeah, Biden just came out and said a famine is about to hit this place. We've been telling people for years that a famine is coming. I think they closed. That a famine is coming. Yeah, they closed. You know, we've been telling people for years, man. From the apostles to the different brothers and elder brothers around the globe, man, that a famine was coming, that pestilence was coming. Hey, because what just passed wasn't pestilence. All right, that was all a setup. All right, but what happens when a lot of these people are not going to be able to get their medicine? All right, when you got people with HIV and you got people with AIDS, all right. You got people with different disease and ailments, diabetes and colon cancers and different cancers. What's gonna happen when all these people can't get their drugs? Alright, it's gonna be mass death. You know? Scripture say, the slaughter of the Lord shall be many, man. You know? It's gonna be from one end of the earth to the other, man. You know, just because the Lord heals in many different ways, man. It ain't got to be about literal sword or a ship destroying you. You know?
Yeah, you can find a way.
Right, find a way. You know what I mean?
It's hard to them.
Right. Somebody can lose control of their car and smack it, run into a crowd of people. Which is happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, this is Jeremiah 25 and 33, the one you quoted. And the slain of the Lord shall be at that day from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground.
All right, so they're gonna be dung upon the ground. So they're gonna be just sitting. And that causes sickness as well. That's why the Lord tells us, hey, when somebody dies, they gotta be put in the grave. They gotta be put in the grave by that evening. Right? All this whole thing with what Esau do with the embalming fluid and taking your organs out and all of that, that's all go back to Egypt. Right? That's a Egyptian practice, man. Mummification. Yeah? You know that goes back into Egypt. You know, but the scripture said that you're supposed to be put in your grave later that evening. But the Lord said ain't gonna be no graves, ain't gonna be nothing. So that means it's gonna be people dropping dead where they stand. You know? You got people that's gonna be hungry. They gonna drop dead. And then you don't just drop dead. You gonna sit there and you so weak you ain't gonna be able to move. And who knows how long you gonna sit there and without even fucking in so much pain you can't holler out. And you just fucking dying.
Yeah, if I may, it's all part of prophecy, because the earth is going to have bodies everywhere, man. This is Ezekiel 39, verse 12. In 7 months shall the house of Israel be buried of them, that they may cleanse the land. Yet all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Lord God. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to bury with the passengers those that remain upon the face of the earth to cleanse it. After the end of 7 months shall they search. So the first assignment for you elites that are ruling today is to go bury all these bodies, man. All right?
Earth gotta eat.
Yeah.
You know, and that's gonna be a part of the earth getting its nutrients back as well, man. Because all of those dead bodies, man, the earth is gonna consume all those nutrients, man. Right? The earth gotta eat, man. You know? They didn't suck the dry. Shit.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
You don't see that now? You see that now? You see that going on right now? Right? They trying to keep fucking China now from invading Taiwan. But really, America need to mind their motherfucking business. But guess what? Scripture say neither does he keep at home. So really, this is all prophecy, man. The scripture say, well, though I made thee least among the nations, thou art greatly despised, man. Hey, the Chinese are in the billions. I think they make up 1/3 of the world's population.
And the Lord hid Jake in there.
Right. It's really, most of them is Israelites. You know what I'm saying? You know? Most of them is Israelites. You know?
You mind if I get back on real quick with this? This Obadiah, chapter 1, this Obadiah in verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus said the Lord, thy power concerning evil. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sit among the evil. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the evil. Thou art greatly despised. And that was just backing up with the other brother who was saying, you know, hey, Esau is small, man, but he's going to be despised by all these nations, you know. You know, but his weapons of mass destruction, he was given a sword, and you know, his blessing was a sword. Can't no one beat him in his blessing, you know.
Russia just came out and said they got a vacuum bomb. Oh, wow. Suck the fucking air out the damn atmosphere. And they drop it, it's basically suck everything out the fucking atmosphere. That shit, that's the CDC on fucking Call of Duty, man.
No, he's talking like just take all the oxygen out.
Yeah, take all the oxygen.
Oh, it's like the bomb from Godzilla.
He was on Godzilla too.
Yeah, when they tried to kill him.
Yeah, all the fish and stuff died in the sea.
Yeah, but this damn devil is greatly despised by all the nations, you know? By all the nations. And even each other, man. You know, you just think about it. If they didn't have Jake to fuck with, if they didn't have Asians to fuck with, or so-called Chinese or so-called Ammonites, they'll be destroying themselves and after running. Because that's how they are.
Look what's happening between Russia and America.
Yeah.
Both nations are ran by each. Well, you got Russia, you got France, you got Germany, you got Britain. All of these are ran by the Edomites. You know, and they all war with each other right now, man. You know, the Lord is setting division among them, man. Right? The scriptures say, a nation divided within itself cannot stand, man. It will be destroyed, man. So that's how we got brought down as the nation, the Israelites. We was too busy fighting amongst each other. If I'm not mistaken, Reuben linked up with Esau to go against some other fucking Israelites, all right, and then Esau turned against the Reubenites. You know, it was different, what you would call natives, the northern kingdom that was linking up with Esau to kill other Israelites that they was at war with, man. And ended up getting stabbed in the back, man. You know, so you do the history on it. Hey, look, now you see Esau falling, and what Jake doing? Popping their women. Israel is being raised up, all right before their eyes. Our nation is being a nation of kings and priests. Your rulers are being built in front of your face, but you can't do nothing about it because you're too busy fucking fighting. You gotta worry about these monsters you done created. Then you gotta worry about all these damn wars you fighting. You ain't gotta, and if you come put your hands on us, the Lord gonna lift the standard. The scriptures say that his teaching will not be removed in the corner anymore, man. Alright? When they get to making they thinking they gonna make their move on the men of the Lord, and the Lord gonna sprinkle a little Superman on somebody.
Right, yeah.
A little bit of flash. He gonna salt base spiritual power. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Well, Isaiah 59 verse 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him.
Which is a sign, you know? And that sign is gonna be with your bright burns. Right? Because really, honestly, that's really what would have happened if Superman would have really, if you was to put that in a real scenario. Because ain't no fucking human gonna tell me not to use my powers when I want to fucking do something. Who the fuck are you to tell me not to do something? Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm the most powerful motherfucker on this planet. I'm finna tear this bitch up. You gonna serve me? You what? You know, the Superman, they show you Superman is a fucking effeminate piece of shit. He got all this power and he's fucking soft. And then what? Later on in the comics, what happened? He fucking go evil. He fucking take control of everything. Cause that's really what will happen. You know, you do somebody bogus, you saying they this, you saying they that. Hey, like Jake make the parody RCD World. He make the parody. What was his? It was Junkman, Heater, and it was another one. You know what I mean? He said, "What y'all did to us, we gonna do to you." He said, "What y'all talking about slavery?" He said, we ain't saying it. We ain't saying it. And they was going crazy, man. Cause really, that's what Jake wanna do, man. You know?
Matthew 12 for 25. How shall you their thoughts instead of to them? Every kingdom started against itself and brought to desolation.
Right, it's brought to desolation. And that's how the Israelites fell as a nation. You know, because we were divided against our power, man. How about Shemal Shai, man? You know, and that was the real reason we failed. You know, because we were divided against the source. You know?
Luke 4 and 6, ye were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because ye moved God to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemies. You know, because the Lord gave us the laws and commandments, and we've been, all right? The Lord did his part, you know, he's been true and faithful the whole way. It's us that broke the laws and the commandments. And that's why we were given over to these heathens, just for like a little ass whooping, you know, just for a small time. Chastity, yup.
Well, but there ain't gonna be no more ass whoopings because we got the new bodies. The new bodies is waiting. You know, they wait. Hey, you know, I sometimes even think about, you know, you watch movies like Chappie and shit like that, how he downloaded.
Yeah.
You know, the Lord got like then you watch Dragon Ball Z, how they sitting in them damn vents. You know, they healing. Like we probably got bodies just sitting somewhere just waiting. You know what I'm saying? Just waiting. You know? The elect already, knowing the Lord, he plans ahead of time. You know? He plans ahead of time. So the body's probably just waiting.
Like Iron Man suits, you know?
Yeah.
In a twinkling of an eye,
You're gonna get transferred to him.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna be changed, man, into those new bodies. Lord willing.
See the movie Avatar when they was inside the new bodies?
Yeah.
Especially the guy that couldn't walk. You know,
He
was happy
ran
as
like a
hell.
motherfucker. He bit that motherfucking fruit. He said, but that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom, man. When's the last time we really tasted good food, man? Some real fruit. Now you go to other countries, hey, like the brother Kanasli, he went to Jamaica. He said your bread over there is like cake stuff. You know what I'm saying? He said the bread over here is like cake. You know, but we eat it so much we can't fucking taste it. You know?
I'm saying, from Corinthians chapter 15, from 55. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. So yeah, this is a new body, you know?
And that word sleep, we are not, all of us are not gonna die. You know, a lot of people when they get taken up, a lot of people are gonna be alive when they get the new bodies. And the ones that are dead in Yahweh Shai are gonna be raised up first. They're gonna get them first. And then the ones that are alive and endure are gonna be rose up also.
Which is honorable. They died. They died doing this work. It's honorable for them to get their bodies first. It's all gonna happen so fast. You know, but the point is, even though it might be 6 hours fast, they gonna get it first. The ones who die, and the brothers who's still alive, they gonna get theirs next. All right.
Acts 1:7-8. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the time for the season which the Father hath put in his own power, but ye shall receive power after that the Holy Ghost is come up upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and all Judea and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost part of the earth.
Right, so that's going into basically how the Lord gave us the down payment. You know, because back then, you know, they was like, hell, when Yahweh Shai revealed himself after he died, it was like, sure, you did restore the kingdom, they was ready to fight. But he was like, no, not yet, but you will receive power. All right, which we see right now, the brothers with this first level of power is the Holy Spirit, man. All right, which is understanding. All right, the first step of getting anything, hey, the Lord gave us, it's like you got a trust fund set up. You get a little bit of money up front, and then you gotta wait till you're 18 to get the rest of the money. All right, so you get the down payment up front. You might get hit with a little bit of money, but your real money ain't gonna come until you basically mature in Esau standards, but in the Lord's standards as well, man. Until we prove ourselves worthy, you know.
I was going to the thing with that. And believe it or not, you know, power is the only superpower in itself, man.
It's the down payment.
Like people said, and not only that, you got a lot of brothers, you know, who get visions, you know, and even some of the sisters out here who get visions, you know, and that goes into the, I think that's Joel or the Acts, yeah, you know, that goes into that, no for experience out there on that, but still having visions is a sort of having a power, you know, you're seeing something. You know, and then you're going back to you see up here relating to people. These are things that's coming. It's almost like being able to see into the future.
That's what it is.
Things that's coming.
That's what it is.
That's what prophesy is.
That's what it is. The Lord actually show you. You know what I mean? He actually show you the future. And sometimes you can't understand it. You know, sometimes I be like, what the fuck? I don't know what the fuck is trying to tell me. You know what I'm saying? You get so bugged out sometimes, you just be like, all righty.
You know, sometimes it's for you to understand right then and there. Sometimes it might come, sometimes it's going to be broken up in bits and pieces until you get the full.
And with Daniel, get Daniel. In the book of Daniel, he said, write peace. He said, but at the end, the vision shall speak. You know, he told him, Daniel was like, I don't understand what you, he ain't understand it. You got it?
Daniel, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the end of the time, even to the time of the end. Many shall want to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right, so basically, Daniel was told to seal up the book. It wasn't time for the understanding to come out. The understanding was supposed to come out now at the end. All right, so it's some things that the men of the Lord got, but it's a lot of things that they didn't got as well. But at the end, knowledge shall increase. That's why the apostles was able to go into the scriptures and bring out all of the understanding, because it was that time, because knowledge increased. So the Lord gave all of the breakdowns to the scriptures. You know, the history, and you know, us going into captivity, the great fall and the wave. You got the Vespasian, all the history that came out to prove that we the Israelites. And not only that, but also prove prophecy, you know?
Hey, this is Habakkuk chapter 2.
Because a lot of prophecy that happened, we was asleep. You know, we was asleep. And we read about the prophecy in the history book. You know, like when you look at the man that the brass, the gold, the silver, with the clay, the miry clay, the feet, we was asleep. You had prophets, but a lot of times, like towards the end, a lot of our people were asleep. And we pick up the history books and we read about a lot of prophecy that was happening, like the great fall and the waves. We were asleep. We read about that. All right. Israel as a whole wasn't what you would call awake at that time. All right? You know, we was being taken down as a nation. But years later, hundreds of years later, we reading about the great fall and the wake. We reading about prophecy. All right? We reading about prophecy. All right? You know, you got not only that, but you got God damn it, it just escaped. I think it would have got a little excited. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we reading about history, man. We reading about the prophecies that took place, man. And now we're living it. You know, you see the crash of the dollar, which goes into the debt. All right, and that's talked about. If your brother can get that, you know, that goes into the debt. We reading about the downfall of our enemies, which is prophecy. You reading about the righteous man standing in great boldness in front of the faces of them that afflict them. You see brothers up there standing today. That's prophecy. You got northern kingdom and southern kingdom coming back together. That's prophecy. The two things being joined together. That's prophecy. The southern and the northern kingdom coming back together. That's prophecy, man. All right. But you got a lot of guys who can't see it because Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy, and the Lord not dealing with it.
This is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1, but the point was in verse 3. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what shall I answer when I am reproved? And the Lord thy power answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may read, that he may run that readeth. And this is all that stuff that happened, all these prophecies that's popping up right now. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak, and not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come and it will not tarry. And that's the vision that, you know, these are all the visions that all the stuff that's going on, all these things are speaking right now. But it's coming to pass right now.
Read Deuteronomy 28. All of that's prophecy. And we read about those things, and the Lord didn't give us the knowledge of all of that. Until what? Until the elders and the apostles, the elder of the business starts bringing it out. All of that was hid. All this information was hid, man. And now the prophecy is speaking, which really means the Yahweh Shai is speaking. Alright? And what? And we're at the end of the knowledge increase. And at the end, it shall speak. He say, though it tarries, wait for it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got something?
Revelation 4, 26, 27. Then answered he me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel. For the world hastens fast to pass away, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous which have to come. For the world is full of unrighteousness and infirmity. So, as the elder was saying earlier, some of the people are not going to understand everything to say. The English is going to know about the day and get understood and get learned. But the Lord gives us understanding preach and start to teach other people. So they're not going to say what they're not going to say.
James 5, I'll start at 1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your misery that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are not eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. They shall eat your flesh as it were fired. Ye have you treasured together for the last days.
Alright, so all you got all this wealth, it's not gonna do you no good, man. Alright, for one, all that shit is ours. Alright, and it's gonna be a witness against you, man, because you got our shit. Alright, in your possession. You know, you're in extreme debt. Alright? And you ain't gonna escape from the judgment that Yahweh Shai got set for you. Alright? Hey, what's that? One of two things the Lord won't turn away from you. What is that? You know? And the Lord, hey, look, Esau, if you haven't did just you ain't did the third thing, you wouldn't have got your ass eradicated. Alright? But your judgment is set. And then you making it worse for your goddamn self. You know?
Amos chapter 1 verse 11. Thus saith Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment.
They said for 3 and for 4. So if you had to get 2, it would have been alright, you know. You know. And he said for 3 and for 4. You went over twice. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Because he did pursue his brother with the sword.
Hey.
And the egg, because of the sword. They quoted the scriptures.
Yeah.
So if you saw Edom went to put on the accelerator of our existence and our destruction and after all things. And his anger been there perpetually.
Right, so when we was trying to go into the land of Israel,
I'm good,
that's really what that's talking about. When we was trying to go to Israel, Esau came out meeting us with swords. We just wanted to pass through. Alright, and what happened? When we went away, they started to kill off the weak and the young. They was killing off the women and the children. Alright? When we was trying to get home. Alright? Esau's a fucking coward. And how he fight today, man? All right, he come after the young and he get down on the big woman. All right, but when the man come around, you know, they bitch up. You know.
Ezekiel chapter 75, verse 5. Because thou hast a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the by the force of the sword in the time of that calamity, in the time that iniquity had an end.
Which is going on right now, because it was a time set where the Lord withdrew his hand from the punishment. But Esau continued. All right, Esau continued. All right, we went to slavery, they let us go, whatever you would say, so to speak. They just Emancipation Proclamation. They just transferred the fucking ownership. It went from being hardcore slavery to corporate slavery.
Which ended up to be mental slavery. Yeah.
Right? Because look, a lot of our people smoking cigarettes and all of that's custom to Esau. And you watch these movies, they tell you about how Esau smoked the cigars and that's all they customs and they things. But what our people do, they watch them and they want to do things that they did. Hey, Matthias, the garment.
So I'll go to the cop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know, eat right. And they start living like they want to live like the heathen nations, man. Hey, that's where jumping the broom comes from.
Ezekiel that's focusing on the following their ways. And Jacob loves any way that's contrary to the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because ways contrary to the right way, it feels fun, feels good, makes the flesh really delight. Alright? The repercussions piss you off, but in the moment of that delight in the flesh, man, the flesh straight, man. The flesh, like, yes, I'm in my party. I mean, just watch people in their reveling, watch them they're not thinking about the destruction coming. And when you're doing something wrong, you know it's wrong. We've all done it. You get that little feeling, and you know it's like, ooh. And it kind of turns the other, you know what I'm saying? Which is straight wickedness, man. And that's the enticement of the time to get you to go fuck off. All right? So our people are susceptible. That's what Lord says. They're stiff-necked. Heart of heart. No, nothing's getting right now. These are spoiled ass kids. That's what the Lord's about to put a curtain. When the curtain he's going to put on, he said it's unlike any other time. So you got to put your mind in horrible times in the past to understand the times coming in the future. Think about on the slave ship. I'm tired, can't go no motherfucking where. Come here, brother. I'm weak, like this. You fart, I smell it. You shit, I feel it. You piss, I feel it. Sometimes damn near taste it. Sleep on the ground, boom, boom, in your face.
You had Jake, they was playing, so you had Jake stacked on top.
Yes, on top, man. And it wasn't that, oh, you gotta beat over, you gotta beat back over to the side of the shit. It wasn't that shit, nigga.
It wasn't civilized.
Man, and if you refuse because of the condition that you was in, they open your mouth
funnel in there, I'm gonna feed you, nigga, because I got insurance on you, nigga.
And knock your teeth out.
Come on, with that funnel, yes, they did. They did not
take
care.
a chisel, they take a hammer and a chisel. And then they have Jake do it. But they showed you a good amount of time. They had the nigga who was helping, you know, they put the funnel, and he wouldn't want to eat. But they took the chisel and chiseled out the front of his teeth, and then shoved it in the gap because he can't turn away. And they shoved the funnel with the slop. And a lot of times that should be pork and all that.
I'm not doing it. You know what they was not giving them prime rib, I tell you that.
No, they was giving them slop.
Prime steak.
Okay. And they feed dogs so they can see nothing.
Numbers start at 48. Therefore, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy food, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and want of all things.
And you can't see this right here. And that's called America. That's called Mexico. That's called Russia. That's called anywhere a nigga tread on this earth, man. You gotta go to them for food. Wait, you got your own plantation? And then if you do, you got beef, you got the chickens, you got the eggs, you got the beans, tomatoes. You got all that shit in your shit? I guarantee you ain't got shit. So guess what? You want to eat, you got to go over here to the Walgreens. You got to go here to the fucking Walmart. You got to go over here to the Jewels and the Albertsons and bullshit and bake and hope they got some quality food. And then they going to hold tax for that shit. I just went to the gas station and I said, I was just going to bring myself $89.5. $90 fucking dollars to fill up a car, not premium.
Yeah, right? It's 116 for my truck.
And I have a truck too, but my truck is not really good because I got a million. I ain't got no fucking
$75 for this little ass two-door Monte Carlo. $75 fucking dollars.
That's right, brother.
I just was doing the math and I gotta take Israel home, so I was like, I'm gonna take the truck because it's gonna run. I'm doing the math. It's gonna take 116 times 2. Yeah, 232.
$200 round trip. You can actually get that.
Yeah, look.
Because I went to Michigan and I filled up and came back and had to take. But at the same time, oh, no, that was perfect. Because all that shit is just because I designed it. They designed cars for the street. They did not design cars for the energy. Even the Tesla, you still gotta go plug in some of the.
Yeah, because you got an alternator. Why y'all delete the alternator? The alternator was crazy. I got a friend who got the new Jeep, but it's like an electric hybrid. So it's electric and it's a gas car. When he turns in gas mode, it charges the fucking battery. The battery he got to run off the battery. So why the fuck y'all get rid of the alternator? Tesla could have put a fucking alternator in that motherfucker. It would have no fucking problems. And with a truck driver, could have been with a hood at, because you know ain't no engine right there. They could have put a nice size alternator right there to keep the fucking battery charged
all the time.
No problem.
Esau. Obadiah 1 and 5 or something. It says, and it's not the great gather enough. No, he can't have enough.
He can't have enough.
It's like, oh, I know, you work for me and you all listening, I know you know, I think the paycheck, but I need to take that money back. I need this money to pay rent. I know I own that building too, but I do want you to pay the rent, but it's extra. You say, like, I don't have no extra. I only got $1 or $2. I need half of that.
Right.
And that's the day. Tomorrow I need half of that. The next day I need half of that. Esau will never have enough, even though he has it all. That's the true greed of the devil, man.
He want 3/4 of whatever you make. That's like you go to fucking work. Right. He want all your money. You go to work, they tax you on your check, and then it's actually against the law because only people who supposed to be paying taxes is business.
But they have made you a corporation through the straw man.
Right, through the straw
Go
man.
look up the straw man in the UCC code, and you'll see that the birth certificate put your mama
So in all caps.
Right, and you're all caps. You are a business, according to the government.
Unless you for American debt. And it's an insurance policy on you, so they make money when you die. They make money when you're born. They make money on you. Period.
That's why the super elite are so super elite, because they got everything. They cornered the fucking market. That's why the scripture says, in Revelations, he said that Satan's come down among you, The devils come down among you because he knows he was great at wrath and anger because he knows he has a short time. He finally set his system up, and now he ain't got a whole lot of time to really do it. Goes back to the Job. And the foolish, somebody get that. They'll give you Job the 20th chapter, start at the top. We'll read on down. Because it's going to, Job gives you the nature of the Edomite. All right? Job, the 20th chapter, in the first chapter, and a couple other chapters of Job will tell you to break down the pure nature of your enemy. And you can couple that with wisdom of Solomon in the second chapter. You'll see their way of thinking, the way of moving. All right? But the Psalms, don't let King David go in, because he'll go tell you about the smoother than butter. But they got drawn swords, right? Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Hold
It's
on.
like,
He
God,
won't even let you see it. He'll come
yeah,
from the
right,
back.
that's what I had to hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then he has somebody.
You know what I'm saying?
He
Right
has
here.
somebody sneaking
Who
up
stabbed you?
behind
Somebody just stabbed you. You don't know we gotta watch my hand on the goddamn knife.
Like he's standing right next to you. And he got a sniper.
You know what I'm saying?
What's
Get
wrong
him.
with your neck?
Hey, do the signals and shit. The motherfucker, pow! You know what I'm saying? Hey, get that Job. Start at the top.
This is Job chapter 20, verse 1. It answered the God, the Namatite, and said, therefore do my thoughts cause me to answer, and for this I make haste. Verse 3, I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causes me to answer. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the trifling of the wicked is short? Job 20 verse 3. I have heard the check of my reproach, and the spirit of my understanding causes me to answer.
He said, I heard the check of my reproach. Do you know Esau was set up for our reproach? When we went off on the Most High, we lost our covering. What happens when a woman loses her covering from her man? She's under a what? Reproach. Isaiah 4:1. He said, hey, I will eat my own bread, I will eat my own, do my own clothes, just let me call my name, take away my reproach. Esau being over us, these heathens being over us, these bitches being over us is a reproach on us. Okay? That's how he's going to break it down.
Verse 4. Knowest thou not of old, this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the proffering of the wicked is short?
That's the point right there. You know, these motherfuckers, their time is about to come to the end. These wicked ass motherfuckers' time is about to come to the end. The so-called white man. The 2/3 of our people's time is about to come to the end. You know, these other heathens about to come to an end. You know, all the fun that they had, all the glory, all the good times that they had, all that shit is about to be over.
And the joy of the victims was quick, but for a moment, though his excellency marched up to the heavens, and it said unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he?
Look at all the skyscrapers. You know, look how this devil thinks. He thinks everything he controls, and this world is giving it to him. The earth is giving it to the hands of the wicked. Right now, he's in control of every goddamn thing. You know, but his time is about to come to the end. He's about to be like the dung upon the earth. You know, the Heavenly Father about to put a foot in that. And everybody who sees him is going to, everybody's going to be like, damn, is this the guy? No, because this motherfucker is about to be true.
Oh, where got to that? That's the guy. Did he get reading on that precept?
Then it's Job chapter 14, verse 5. These his days are torment. The number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his time that he cannot die.
Yeah, this devil ain't got too much time, you know. The Heavenly Father, he can't go past a millisecond of the time that he has. Everything has been appointed. All the time, anything that he think he's gonna do, he think he's gonna fill his belly. All this stuff is set in stone. All this stuff is set. There's nothing he's gonna be able to do once that time, once that a lot of time gets here.
Which one?
Okay, look.
Yeah, he shall be faithful away at the vision of the night.
Come back. Slocky.
14 and 5.
Then he's going to hit that Second Thessalonians at precept. That's what you read. You read 14? 14 and 5. You got the Second Thessalonians precept? Oh, you're going to have to read that all in like a 20, man.
Job chapter 20, verse 15. He shall fall down his riches and shall bring them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly.
There we go.
His bones are full of the sin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but to keep it still within his mouth.
Exactly, because the devil, all he's going to do is just lie about everything he just did on this planet. He's still lying, even though he caught. They got him flat on every social media telling on himself, and he's still lying. That's what that person say. This is what I'm sticking by. What they say?
This is my word.
This is my word. I'm sticking to it. That's what he gonna do. He ain't gonna tell you the truth. Flat out say I'm the devil. I'm the Edomite that the Bible speaks of. He ain't about to tell you that.
No, because Judah is the fifth chapter. So once Israel knows who we are, you're saying, once we know who we are, who our followers, then hey, and we're following the How Much God, we're cool. But as long as we don't know, all right, the Lord's going to turn away from us, and we're going to be, consumed by his Edom, especially Esau Edom.
Right, and that Judah 5, it says, let me tell you the truth about this nation. So the other nations know how to be saying, they're okay with their power.
Oh, sluggy.
You know what I mean? They're okay with their power. They were on top of everybody. He said that as soon as they served not their power, they were given as prey. They were given to servitude. So that these other nations know. That's why it said Lamentations 4 and also 5, how they had that are downfall. Because they know what it is for us to be right without power, and they also know us being on the other system, which is getting jacked up.
Yet his meat and his bones will come. It is the God of apps that in him. He shall fallen down with us, and he shall bring them up again.
Because everything on the planet, he don't own nothing. He robbed everybody. He robbed everybody. Like, he thinks it ain't just the Israelites. He stole everybody heritage at the same time. But our heritage was the one he should have stolen. Out of all the other poor brothers stole, he don't want to be himself.
Because it's really going to hang over their loose heads because they know.
Exactly.
All right? Even they will hold some knowledge from the other nations, but the head of Esau and the head elites know who we are. And they withheld that information from the rest of the world. So they just looking at us like fucking Africans, low-life-ass Africans. You know what I'm saying? The whole time, we the Israelites. We the chosen, we as kids, man. And that's something that's going to really get Esau fucked up even more because you knew, not only that, nigga, you really was our twin brothers.
You want to get that Judah?
You know? Huh?
You know what I'm saying, the brother? You want to get that Judah 5 because it basically tells you how the nation goes. He said, let me tell you about this nation because he wanted to go inquire about the
Yeah, I got it right here.
Put it up, huh?
Judah, the 5th chapter.
Damn you from the top.
Chapter 5, verse 17, and while they sit not before their God, they
Start up when he basically points it out. He said, I'm going to tell you the truth. You can start up.
And that's pretty much why they haven't came against the men of the Lord. Because they know we in the eyes of Yahweh Shai, they know we doing what we supposed to be doing, man. And that's why you got guys like Vocab who scout out different camps, and then he'll sit there and say on one of his wives, out of all of them, Great Millstone is the most sincere out of all of them. That should tell you something. That dude's a fucking agent. So he's going back giving his report to the feds, the CIA, and telling them this them. It's them. It's them. You know, because they got scholars who actually study the scriptures, man. They know what to look for in the man of the Lord. They know what to fucking look for. The scriptures say devils believe and do tremble. And then he get a bunch of stupid ass niggas, alright, to join up with him and cut him off a check, you know, to come against the men of the Lord, man. But they know. You don't see vocab going up to the rest of the camp trying to cause them fucking problems. Because he know ain't no light in them niggas.
Yeah, they already got him.
They already got them. They already paid off.
Yeah.
You gonna go fuck with some motherfucker that's on the payroll?
They
Them on the payroll, 501c3, ISUPK, they got the charter. Goddamn it, they got Gorilla Hebrew now. This is fucking energy drink. They got this thing just because he want to promote himself. He may not even fucking sold out for real, but because he want to make money, he gonna downplay the doctrine. He don't fucking believe anyway, for real. You know?
Yeah, real quick, the Judith 5 and 5 then said, "Thank you, Lord, the captain of all the sons of Ammon. Let my Lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant, and I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people."
So the truth about the people that he just said,
which was near thee, and inhabited the hill country, and there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant.
truth is being known, man. Ain't no lies coming up because, hey, you people are exposed, man. Y'all know who we are. Y'all know the truth. Y'all know who the Israelites. Ain't no hiding. That's why it says in the Lamentation that two of y'all was wagging y'all in. This is the day y'all look for. You see us on the bottom.
Right, that's what he knew. He said, I'm going to tell you the truth about this people, because they knew what was going to happen eventually if the Lord was in our favor or if he was against it. You going out?
Count verse 6, Judith 5 and 6. This people are descendants of the Chaldeans, when they sojourned heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were the land of Chaldea. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshipped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia and sojourned there many days.
He giving them the whole breakdown. How we were serving idols. We came out of that. And we started because we was into that Egypt shit too. And that's what, hey, Jake was into the unk and all that. Jake was deep into witchcraft, all that shit. That's right. That's why them same niggas is back doing the same shit they were doing in Egypt. You know?
Verse 9, then their God commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned and to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt, and were increased with gold and silver and with very much cattle. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down into Egypt and sojourned there.
Right, because the scriptures talk about how Abraham lived in the land of promise and didn't know it. Abraham was already there. The Lord sent him to the land of Canaan. All right, he didn't even know that was the land that he was going to inherit. He was already living there. All right, it's giving you the whole history, and then what happened? Joseph got sold into Egypt. All right, and it's giving the whole breakdown of when we went, how everything happened. You know what I mean? It's telling you how everything happened. You know, and they know because they got the fucking records. They got all the records. They got the Ron Wyatts. When they did all the search with the Mount Sinai, with the chariot wheels under the Red Sea, about the Saudi Arabians and the Arabs taking the 12 pillars and dumping them throughout the Red Sea, they got all of that, and they put a plaque, and when they took it down, they got all of this history and all of these records, so they fucking know who we are. They got pictures, they got art, they got the hieroglyphics, they got everything to prove who the fuck we are.
Even on the Moabites, they got the Moabite stone.
It say buy out the wine on the motherfucker.
Y'all got all the information to know what we got. Don't think because you gonna get some kudos and when they go slavery, oh man, we was letting people know who y'all are now. Nigga, that was you should have been
No, instead of being something
No, even if they did, bro, they can come out here and say y'all the real Israelites today.
They're not gonna be
until blood was shed for the blood that you shed. There is no. I'm talking about the other nations.
I'm talking about them too.
Because they ask, oh, now they want to start speaking up. You know, so-called. But they still gonna get
Right, like some
some people say
There's a whole bunch of people who, for their own opinions, these other nations might speak or something. But there's always an ulterior motive. Exactly. No one speaks up for us that's who will bemoan you. Right? They don't bemoan us. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a fuck. Everything they do is pseudo. You know what I'm saying? You go with what you say. There's a fake. Hey, but it's really a drive, a shame for stewing on Esau. Because the Chinese, the Moabites just said, not a month ago or so, it was tripping. On the conditions of Argentina. Right, so it was because U.S. so-called protesting Olympics, only the actually looking on judge. But they're like, hey, if you guys want to talk about the nations and human rights records, you guys have the worst in the world now, like the brother said. They ain't suffering us to know who we are, so even if they say it, it's really them to spew
just talking shit.
Esau's reputation, not because
They
they're doing
care.
something about it, doing something about it.
Care
They're
packages.
actually sending reinforcements.
Care packages.
Right, something, man.
Hey, we're gonna send this amount of money to the. We got our officials.
Right.
We got our officials. We're gonna get up with the black community. We're gonna give the black community. We're gonna rebuild your streets. We got, you go to Chinatown, man. You got all the motherfuckers. You got Chinese-owned construction companies. You got Chinese-owned, goddamn it, shoe companies. All this. If they really cared, they get up with these motherfucking companies and go rebuild them. We gonna put $100 million into Inglewood's infrastructure.
See, the funny thing is you say that. If the heathens were to do that, it would be so great for their benefit. Because Jake, you know how
They
Jake
gonna
is.
fuck with them.
The scriptures say that.
Yeah.
So Jake is like, man, don't say shit about them Chinese motherfuckers. I'm telling you right now, these motherfuckers cool as hell. Jake's simple as fuck, but the greed of Esau is what dictates the nation. All the nations want to be in the power seat, like Esau is in that. It's about greed.
Yeah.
And since it's about greed, it's not they do everything. Wisdom.
Yeah.
Because the true wisdom would be, hey, these are the Israelites that's repent, restore, and try to get back to the graces to minimize the pain that's going to come down. They're not going to do that. Because pride in itself will prevent it.
This is a Psalm, and I'm going to just go to 83. Psalm 83, chapter 1. Psalm 83, and this
Did the brother
verse
ever finish that?
No.
Let us get through that and then hold that.
I got he got one too. After
That
that
shit, look, that
one.
shit hurts.
Yeah.
Now back in Judah 5 and 7. But when the famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down into Egypt and sojourned there, while they were nourished and became there a great multitude that one could not number their nation.
Right.
Right. Verse 11. Therefore the king of Egypt
Changes the history. You know, when you read the scriptures, and like the possible bars, you gotta think in pictures, man. You know, when you really think about, and every time I read the scripture, certain stories stuck out to me because, like Samson and coming out of Egypt and Judges, I used to really picture, Samson ripping off a fucking jawbone of a fucking donkey and going nuts. He was on some Jedi shit, man.
One of my favorite imageries is when he was fighting, where he was fighting so hard that the sword cleaved his hand. It's almost like his hand cramped up.
Yeah,
and he
he
could
did,
not.
right.
And he
That's
cleaved
carpal
to
tunnel,
his
like
hand. He could, but his hand was one with the fucking sword. It cleaved to it, like
Like a Negro nail. Like a Negro nail.
Everything was my mouth. I could see him
It was
just
like his soul was.
And we see the Bruce Lee movie when 30 people come at him and he's on water. Well, bam, and here, bam, and I can see that in Israel. How when they
Wherever he swing his hand, that motherfucker like.
shoot in one hand,
He
bam,
doing
bam,
it.
bam, bam, bam. Like this nigga doing some amazing
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But even the other soldiers, when they fight, they stop. Damn.
Yeah.
It had to be written. Someone had to see it to write it.
King David, when they moved to say,
He killed 10,000, Saul killed 1,000, David killed 10,000. You know what I'm saying? So you can imagine, that was David's mighty man. So then how much bigger was David?
Right. And the point that you just made earlier, Ryan, just to back it up, is that the anime shows one of the he came run with the sword, and he was wherever the sword went, and he just shows how powerful he was. He swung on side and split a whole building in half. And I was just sitting up there backing up what you were saying about it. That sword.
Judith 5 and 11. Therefore, the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly, with them and brought them low with laboring in brick and made them slaves. Then they cried unto their God, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues. So the Egyptians cast them out of their sight, and God dried the Red Sea before them.
Right, so like the brother's saying is, you gotta be able to, this is a recap, like you watch a movie about somebody build up the hero, they show him through his childhood, they're basically going through everything, our history. Keep going.
God. Verse 13, Judith 5 and 13, God dried the Red Sea before them and brought them to Mount Sinai and Kadesh Barn and cast forth all that dwell in the wilderness. So they dwell in the land of the Amorites, and they destroyed by their strength all them of Esbon, and passing over Jordan, they possessed all the hill country. And they cast forth before them the Canaanite, the Pezerite, the Jebusite, and the Sychemite, and all the Girgasites, and they dwelt in that country many days. Verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they they prospered, because the God that hated iniquity was with them.
Right, you believe in Joshua, it says that the law was given to us for everything to go well, for all things to go well, for all things to profit, man. All right, so we were supposed to make no mistake. When you follow the law, you prosper in all your ways.
Good success.
Right, good success. There you go. Yeah. That's what I was looking for. All right, come on. The good success.
Verse 18, but when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies.
Right, then the Maccabees lets you know that then it was done by force, all right, when we were turned into Gentiles. All right, we were no longer allowed to practice our customs, then we were persecuted for following our customs. Keep going.
Verse 19, but now are they returned to their God, and are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider.
And this was actually a warning, because the Spirit of the Lord jumped on him and warned him.
Yes.
The Lord warned him. Like, look, you take over this XYZ. You know, because he said, my Lord, please. He like, look, my nigga, don't do this shit. You're fucking up, dog. Don't fuck with them. You know what I mean?
And they, verse 20, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error against this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
Now, for the record, I love this. That's record. And that's section. Because let's note that the saying of God had reached automation. And they really goes to your daughter? Leave them people. You want some of this old man? No! Now the thing is, that's also the blueprint how you fucking trust. Get him to go off. If you get one of us to go off, it can cause a little leaven to leaven the lump. Alright? So they didn't try to get one of us to go off. They want all of us to go off. So they put the pork in the food. Yeah. They put it unbeknownst to they chick. I promise you, there might be some names of something that you don't even know to go back to pork, because that's how slick that Esau is.
And then they would say it's something else, but it's not. And then they got it to where it's certain byproducts. The secret trade ingredients, they don't have to invest. The only thing they gotta say is lard it's one of our trade secret ingredients, and they don't have to put it on the ingredient list.
Well, Mike, verse 21, Judah 5, verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God before them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
Right, and you read a lot of the Canaanites, the Jebusites, the Hivites, all of the nations became a reproach. Hey, the Lord became famous on how we killed all them giant ass bones they digging up. The Israelites put them to death. Alright? You know, a lot of them giants that they finding over there. Hey, the Israelites put them to death, man. Alright? Hey, what the Lord said, be not dismayed at their stature, man.
Yeah.
You know?
And they were dismayed for a while until the Lord finished the spirit up of Joshua, Caleb, that
nigga was big. You like, what the fuck are we gonna cover this thing? You want a nigga that's fucking, hey, they digging up bones, and some of these people down and tall like this fucking white person. They were 13, 14. You know what I'm saying? They was huge, man.
12 feet tall. They were,
you know what I'm saying?
That's what it said. What it said in the Maccabees, like, those that read this be not discouraged.
Right, yeah.
It's a chastity, bro.
Right.
It's a light chastity, bro.
but real talk, ain't nobody gonna be bigger than us.
Look, man, they're ready for it.
In the gospel, change your stature.
But a light thing, small thing. Listen, look. What you mean? It's nothing.
Yeah.
Yo, you want to be huge or what are you talking about?
Look at the cherry.
And matter of fact, the big thing about Malcolm's dream, he said that if we got to these, what it looked like, it'd be like a bus. And he said, when we get into the bus, you just kept getting into the bus because inside it was like a chariot. And it was huge. And you can't just see hundreds of people. But on the outside, you could look like 20 people. So it looked like you was only 20 people get on that motherfucker, but it was hundreds of people on it. And it was actually a chariot and so forth. The power of the Most High. Just look at nature. Look at the bird. Look at how a hummingbird can hover in one spot and just be right there and eat and drink for this field in one spot. Esau went and looked at the nature of the birds and the bees and said, you know what? Let me make my machine like this, and that's how you get your modern day technology. They have to imitate. We actually created Jeremiah 51, I believe. It says the portion of Jacob is not like them. Right? For he, how about is the former of all things. And guess what he gave us? The ability to form
the rotary engine. The rotary engine was the first engine. Esau capitalized on the thing that combustion engine.
That came from all that comes from.
Well, the rotary engine,
everything
the combustion is the
same. Engine started back thousands and thousands of years ago in the scripture. Yeah. But yet, we make engines on top of different buildings. An engine is mechanisms that by a certain mechanism that you can use to control, to do things, project things, propel things.
And when you go look at the pyramids, you got pictures of airplanes, helicopters, light bulbs. They had light bulbs. They had light bulbs in pictures of chariots. Because we already understood a lot of technology. All right, like a lot of the shit that Esau is recreating. All right, this is old shit. All of this shit is old shit. All right, it just like you got a PlayStation and you got a PS3. This we like in the PS5, 6 era. They say look better. Right, that's like two brothers.
You know what? We can look at what we ask you. Right. Okay, let's charge another $100. Here's what we got in the box. Let's repackage it with the same gas shit. You take your first PS1, first one, the graphics will be a little bit different. But guess what? It ain't that significant for the PS4 and the PS5. That's the whole point. The majority of it. That's what they do. As a matter of fact, they'll come up. How many times have we seen the 2014 model
and then they bring out a 2015 model,
Same
and
shit.
it looks almost damn set, except
The
they
lights.
just tweaked a little bit.
Lights.
That's it, they just
They
tweaked
changed
it.
lights
That's
on the-
Esau. That's Esau. But that's
headlights. They take all the cars back they didn't sell.
I'll say,
They put some new lights and all the other stuff.
I'll say certain games on the PS5 is a little better in graphics. I will say that. If you look at Breath Up on the 5 compared to it on the PS4, it looks better.
And they think that's
I'm saying we're missing the point, brother.
But it's
I
still
don't know, man. GTA 7.
it's still not that much fun.
Give me my time.
But it's simple.
God knows, man.
Only thing you get is the only thing they do is put a different processing chip in there to make it run.
Right, he's so
Everything-
creative.
That's
and they do
that's all
change the
they do.
graphics card.
That's the graphics card, RAM,
graphics and speed.
same-
That's what they
but
do.
it's really the same shit.
They'll add a couple characters. They'll add another little storyline, and then they say, "Now give me another $300." Give me another $400.
Hello, right?
Right.
And we're not ignorant of the device, and if I want to play with the device, I'm playing with it. We like, and the reason why Esau do this is because you know who invented the game?
We did.
Niggas did. Niggas
It was a
invented
Jake who
He made the first
game
game.
console.
Right. Now the thing is, a lot of these games, we were talking about this a week or so ago. We were talking about the Dragon games. I was talking about my Dragon games. Keeping the game. But Esau knows.
A lot of shit is based on
Esau splices the game. So the spirit that we have inside of us, we are spiritual members. We're generals. All right? We're the true generals, not the general. But we're generals in the Most High's army. We're captains in the Most High's army. We're actually, the Most High said he's a man of what? War. All right? What's his name? Yahweh is his name. All right? Why would he even give me a scripture like that? Flat out. But no, somebody. I'm a man of war. Now, who can fight with the Most High? No. Is there anybody next to the Most High?
It says, won't you
I'm talking about in the beginning. Say it again?
It says, won't you that stronger because it's made?
Exactly. Because what Yahweh said, this was made by me and who what? Him alone. He ain't had nobody to fight. So he made something to fight. Because he's a warrior. And a warrior mind. He trumped everything. He won.
Well, really, life is about confrontation. When you think about life, the battle of living life, it's all about this confrontation.
Everything is simple.
You know, it's really, life is really a war. You battle the flesh.
Yeah.
It's a war in the flesh. You go at home, you battle for what? Rulership in your house. All these wars that's all around. It's a war.
You got a war with the ground, food, everything is a war.
It's a war.
now
It's a
for
battle.
that-
Yeah, it's
so
a battle.
that you
Everything is a
understand
battle.
Our minds are like that. So when Esau creates a game, like, you know,
That's where they get flanking from.
Well, they got it from the scripture.
Blitzing. Blitz.
All that from the scriptures. They took all that. But
Blitzing
that
is
comes from the
another word for
mindset of the Most High and what the Most High gave his men. So now when we see a game and we see, hey, I like this, I'm over there conquering this country, I'm conquering. That's a semblance of what we actually do.
That's why I'm for art.
And in reality, when the Lord says, hey, in my father's house are many mansions, if it was not true, I wouldn't have told you so.
Yeah.
And going out of space, how many galaxies, how many planets, there are a lot of planets just waiting and travel. They roll these the rock. You know why the Most High didn't design every single one of them? He wanted sons to go out and decide how to dream. Before the truth, I don't know how old I was, but there was over 10 years. And in this dream, I was sleeping. And I woke up in my dream on a spaceship. Now, the spaceship was like it wasn't not the one for everybody. There was one circular, one. When I wake up, what the fuck? I mean, it could be no more than enough for me, just enough for me. And matter of fact, it wouldn't even went past this little almost. And I'm like, and I see out of space, see stars, and see planets, and some suns, and all shit. And I'm like in a ship, and I'm like, guys, and shit gets flying on its own. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm on a spaceship flying through space. What the hell is this? And then the spaceship gets to a planet. And it lands. I didn't do nothing to make it land. It didn't do anything. It landed on its own. And then I'm like, how am I gonna breathe in this motherfucker? And that shit came out on its own. And you're like, shit! Yeah. And I'm like, oh shit. So and I get out and I'm like, damn, is this a barren ass? It's just a planet. And I'm just like, wow, it's a planet. then I woke up. Oh, because I didn't know what happened. That was before. I didn't even understand the dream stuff. And then I even go way into it that, like you said, terraforming. Yes, get that. Because the Lord says He's going to give us our what? So what kind of planet do you? What kind of galaxy do you? What kind, see, so now, when I watched Avatar, remember the movie Avatar? And I saw the floating rocks that were floating in the air, and then you had this all over the bam, and I see waterfall. I'm a big waterfall guy. I love waterfall. I would like to walk out of my house and walk through a waterfall like that. That's how cold I want to make love in a waterfall. I like waterfall. Do you know that I'm going to have a planet that damn near is going to be made of damn near all waterfall? Because the Lord is going to give us the ability to do that.
Yeah, it was crazy you say that because I do bath in the shower at the same time to make me feel like I'm
I used to feel like
It's cold.
bath in the shower, man. Hey, yeah, but it's called terraforming. Hey, and Esau, what they want to do, they thinking they gonna terraform Mars and even different planets. Hey, but it takes spiritual power.
No, that was also Mars. Not Mars, but Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then they build those machines to create the atmosphere like that. We ain't got to do all that. We have the actual understanding of the elements. We have the understanding of the elements. Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter. Somebody get that real quick. Wisdom of Solomon 7. And he said, I know they got how the world was made.
Because in Superman, they had it was called a world generator. All right, and what the world generator would do, it would basically terraform the planet to Krypton. And that's what Zod was righteous. Because he was trying to fucking sell out. You know what I'm saying? So Zod was actually like, look, we're gonna rebuild our nation on this fucking planet. This is a beautiful planet. We're gonna take this shit.
These motherfuckers kill me. They hate me because
in a matter of time, it's gonna be nothing anyway.
Right, they destroyed it.
Speed it up.
Right.
So the world generated.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah. And the second ones were actually the righteous, the so-called Autobots. You know what I'm saying?
They was for their nation. They was for their nation.
And they recognized the wickedness that was born in some puny ass motherfuckers who all this damage of normal people. That's what.
And look what happened in the last. And look what happened in the last Transformers. They turned against them.
Yeah.
The fucking humans does.
Always do, because they always show their colors. And guess what? They start turning around to where everybody's gonna be humans and bots again. No, it's never gonna be gods and humans chilling together. You're gonna be ruling, all right? Because you cannot. The flesh. And we was talking about this earlier. The flesh cannot. Now, why did the Lord say? We scarcely say, and if you don't come back, you will basically you will not survive. This flesh is death, darkness, death. Everything contrary to life is this flesh. As long as God and the powers of that being, the two powers of the earth, which the Israelites, their rulership to guide humanity, it will always implode. Every kingdom, matter of fact, turn this around. Turn this around. Every kingdom. Yeah. That's for the Hispanic. Did you all set y'all camera up? Y'all set y'all stuff too.
All right, go.
All right. We know, and then we're going to stay. That's fine. But all these nations, right? All these nations, every single nation had a time to rule. Every single one of these nations not only had a time to rule, but have treated the world, not only the Israelites, but the whole planet, and corrupted the planet, fucked up the planet, destroyed the planet. Every single nation. Only nation who didn't do that as a nation is the Israelites. Now we did it vicariously by being disobedient to the Lord God.
We ain't fuck up the planet.
No. And we were not going out there to try to take over the world. We were not trying to see. Esau went a base from every place. Now China's like, oh shit, Esau about to fall. I'm next. No, you're not, Moab. You're not next.
Wouldn't be nothing to eat with each other.
But let the Moabites rule them. Shit, I might not be even having 1 or 2 children or 3 children. Or I might not be having no girls, only boys. These humans are stupid. fit.
And that's why in China they having a lot of males that don't have wives because they were killing off all of the fucking females.
And they had rules and regulations on how many children you can and can't have. And
now
they
they don't want
already got a high sexuality as far as the producers. They produce a lot of kids. Why they take there's a lot of dick over there too. Yeah. But
making all the babies.
Well, no, not a lot of them. But he said Moses said that he saw Moab get cobra. So you do have a lot of his outcasts. So we all over there, and you know what we can do best is
it's fucking.
When we get depressed at work and get mad, stuff we're doing. Oh man, somebody want to do. That's how we get confident. You know what I'm saying? We get confident by that. Because the more you, somebody give me real quick. I know we holding that. Give me Exodus, the first chapter. The more they oppress us, the more we fuck. All right. So now we're in nothing but oppression. That's what they doing.
Then they really can't. None of the Israelites, you got the census. At one house, I had and I don't know if my son can tell you, but his mother. Up to you to stay there with all her fucking 9 kids, 8 kids. Then it was the grandmama and all her fucking 7, 8 kids. You know what I'm saying? Then I was there at the time. I was there with my 2 kids. So it's like you got 3 motherfucking families in one motherfucking house. Yeah. It's like fucking 30 motherfuckers in one motherfucking 5, 7 bedroom house. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and that Jake do that a lot. That's what Jake do. Yeah. Go ahead. Jake numbers, big as hell, you know.
Exodus 28. Now there was unto new people Egypt, which was not Joseph. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we.
And now they was already through natural shit. It was already on a natural vibration. The Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. We took that to the utmost. It's still good, correct?
Come on, let us do it.
They spoke that all the time, though. They see Jake hack in, they be like, damn, God, you didn't say you fruitful and multiply, but damn. You know what I'm saying? They tell me that all the time. I mean, everywhere Jake tell me the same fucking thing.
Come on, let us do wisely with them, lest they multiply and add and come to pass. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply and it come to pass that when there are out into the world, they can also. So let them up out of the land. Therefore, we set over them taskmasters which afflict them with their burdens, and they go through zero.
Right, so they went to afflict us, all right, and this is what you got, your Planned Parenthood, all right, your abortion clinics, all right, instead of afflicting us like they did then, they just put chop shops to Jake to kill each other. All right,
They start killing everything. You got a bail and it's under 2 counts. You know what I'm saying? One more verse. But that's great. Esau took the model of Egypt.
he took the model of this right there.
Verse 12. The more they afflict them, the more they multiply.
Excuse me?
The more they afflict them.
Pick that cotton! Pick it! Pick it! Ah, damn it! Make them fucking bricks! Hey, baby, put some of that oil salve on my back. Thanks, man. And you took out, and
I was waiting for you to say that.
We took all those that pounded from Esau. We took that pounded on that woman. All right? And she was telling you something. Go ahead, read it again.
But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew, but they were grieved.
Right? Hey, what the scripture say that the woman is? Yeah, help. And also, you go home, to rest. You get time to go right before you go to sleep, or right when you wake up is when the best time to catch. You know what I'm saying? You lay down next to your woman, hey, how your day was, and this and that. And that's how, you know, and then at that time, we had women that would actually, we would actually have women that comforted us. Right? And sex is a comfort. You know, it's a pleasure that actually is a stress reliever. Like, feel the rest. So if your woman, you had a hell, you had a bad day, we get some boxes, you don't even fucking remember what happened at work.
We escape from them breakfasts.
Yeah, them TJs.
That's what we do. We escape from them.
You know? Okay. Y'all got any brother Jesse?
Alright. Now we got to get the homeless stuff. So that was good. Get that real quick.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 17. We have given you certain knowledge of the things that are. That is, you know, the world was made.
You know how the world was made, go ahead.
In the operation of the elements.
The operation of the elements. Go ahead. So you come after that. How you gonna be like that was it? We might get some more meat off that long. Yeah, bro.
The beginning, ending, in the midst of the times.
The beginning, the ending, in the midst of time. Go ahead.
The alterations of the turning of the sun and the change of the season.
See, this is why Esau, Edom hates us. Because we have that understanding. See what Esau gonna do? You know he's gonna say, you know what? Approximately fire weighs 0.0907 or 6 to the possible. Now, if the wind is blowing or the compressor is there, it might change. Esau, you don't know shit. There's actually a weight of fire. One flame of fire has the actual weight. You cannot measure it because you don't have tools and the knowledge to do so. These motherfuckers who see a star that's 2 billion trillion miles away and then say, oh, now this one is here, this is hotter than it's the rate of the flickering. Get the fuck up! The rate of the flickering is going to tell you that this isn't the heat and the sun. You don't know shit! And you don't know how big the sun is. You don't even know how big the earth is. You haven't even explored the Amazon rainforest. You haven't even understood all the lakes and the rivers and the oceans, nigga.
It's still animals that's popping up that he ain't seen.
Come on.
Adam knew every animal that walked this planet.
He named them all.
He named them all. Adam knew every animal. Adam knew how big the earth was.
That shit makes me mad. Well, don't just want to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because they do say that.
Because now you got niggas and stupid niggerettas sit on this and he's not, and this is what, you know, one of the niggerettas who walk by here sometimes working my job, he got fired. All right, I put curses on him, having you go. Unless you can. The next one. Don't go by as a park camp from time to time to show you, you know, because he doesn't live far. And so he fuck with me, but he don't fuck with me, but he fuck with me. That's Jake. All right? But he'll on one hand be like, yeah, and this, yeah. The other hand is, trust the science, the scientist, the science. I said, you crack, fuck them crack. He said, I don't deal with that hate, I do this way. I said, no, nigga, you Mexican, hate you. You know what he did? Right.
He said deal with the science.
He wouldn't know that. So he took his ass off and went up and went back into his little fucking office. Right. You know what I'm saying? But fuck him. Because we're going to teach you to produce and pretend the real science. The word science is like the Latin word scientia. And scientia means simply to know.
Right.
If you don't know, you're talking sight.
And the Lord didn't give us the knowledge to the heaven.
He gave us some.
We unfortunately smart. Yeah. We don't know. We don't know where. You know, like Esau may know how to see what element by shining light, whatever. It comes back according to the periodic table. But they also got something called white light. When they do research on white light, basically they understand that we can't see all the colors. We only see red, blue, and green. So everything you see on the planet is driven into red, blue, and green. Because the buttons are still got, I think it's 3, 2 per meter, 4 meters, whatever, I can't remember. But the butterfly got 16 in the buttons. So the butterfly can see a whole wide, a different spectrum of colors. So the world looks completely different to them. So when we get those two bodies, it's going to be colors of different things, like you saw colors of white light. Eyes not have.
Literally, literally. Hey, but check it. If you go back to that's what it's saying. When you say I know the operation of the elements, do you think Esau has all the elements on his highest periodical table? Absolutely not. First of all, what the Lord has given us is the basics. All right? The basics. The Lord gave us the basics. You go into the basics. You have to, these are the building blocks. That's why you use every single part of the concept. You're applying order, iron ore on every single planet. I mean, part of the planet. You find gold, part of the planet. Some will be bigger gold than others. You'll have diamonds. You'll have all different kinds of those are all, that's all designed by how Hashem is the outside. And those are the foundation, like the scripture says, the basic principles of life: heat, oil, water. Get it. Now the Lord got the base, but guess what? Guess what? You get the Most High's technology that He had, Terry. You can just He's all here. No, this one. This one. But guess what it can't do? It can't do like boom. That's it. Right. It's limited. The Lord can basically like the Lord gave them a little crisis when His stuff is the charity.
Even what they mimicking the charity, they got some because they use anti-gravity. They feel it wobbles. They have to put counterweights on. You know, like keep it from wobbling. Like Esau did it, man. And like that's even the light bulbs and shit like that. The light bulbs we had, they burn for years, man. They last for years. You know what I mean? You saw shit here, we gotta change this shit. Light bulb hot. Out the moon on your ass knows the whole fucking light. And then the batteries wasn't nuts with fucking orange juice, water, and basil. Orange juice, it was orange juice and distilled water. They would put a copper rod in the water, and then we take the negative and positive electrons out of it and make light out of fucking water. And more than citric acid. That's the bad
Isaiah chapter 31. Verse 3. Now the Egyptians are men, and not the Most High, and their horse is flesh, and not spirit. When the Lord your house shall stretch out His hand.
They say their horse is what?
Flesh.
And not what?
Spirit.
Right? You got a tank. A tank don't think. A tank, it has a driver. All right? A tank, an airplane has an operator. All right? So if you ride a horse and you finna ride up a hill, the horse will fucking stop. You know what I mean? Esau shit and just keep fucking going. You know, machine don't fucking, it ain't gonna think to stop. You know what I mean? Keep going.
When the Lord your house shall stretch out His hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hosted shall fall down, and they shall all fail together.
Right, so the Most High, like when you go into Ezekiel and talk about the spirit was in the wheels, man. Right. You know, so the chariots, the technology of the chariots, down there gonna be like an extension of yourself.
It's like Avatar.
Yeah.
Plug into the
yes.
thing.
You know, it's down there gonna be like an extension of yourself. Right? Because it says the spirit is in the wheels. You know, but Esau technology, it doesn't have spirit, doesn't have life. All right? So Esau technology, he gonna go against the Lord, and his technology literally has life. And, we can say that the Lord is the God of the living, not the dead. You know, so would not you think the Lord put some type of spirit into his technology? You know?
Esau technology is weak as hell, man. Because look who is created by it. Based on man.
Right.
You know, compared to the Creator.
And the only thing he do is replicate shit he just does up.
He's the biggest copycat. He's the biggest reverse. That's all he'll do. He'll go take your shit.
It's a rule on that. It's called monopoly. They have a monopoly on it. They have to think like for so many years, like after the AirPods came out, I think I know like
the patent has life. When that patent is over, then anybody else who wants to jump into that technology
they can make
that patent. It's like Pfizer. They had Viagra for so long, and then once the patent went out for Viagra, now you got all these cyanotics. You got all these other better than the blue pill. You got all these other people. Now the patent is dead. That's Esau's stupidity. Because guess what? In the ancient world or in the future world, if I had a patent on something that's mine, it's always yours.
Is that you made it?
The Most High made all this. He got the patent on existence, man. You can't make no new existence, nigga. Even all your little, what they call it, the drones, the artificial life, call it
Androids.
androids, AI, all that shit is falling. And even though the AI tell them that,
But if the AI, Elon Musk scared of it.
AI said, and AI told them, white people are responsible for the earth, you have to destroy this, but after that, and they took that video down, Esau scrubbed that shit. You gotta really go hard to find that shit. Find that, go to the dark web. You gotta go dig in it. Just to get the because they said the AI machine, when it got to such a level of its so-called artificial intelligence, when they asked them about the end of the world, or I forgot the question they asked them, they basically said that white people are the Jews on earth, we can be eradicated, and they're talking about black folks being oppressed. It took everything that the scriptures is really saying, because it took all the data from history that was put in from the beginning of time to now and made this production.
Like, what the fuck?
Was Esau's the fucking devil.
And these people need to be saved.
Exactly.
That was
and it's like, and this thing is going to be a destruction. And they'll say, oh, you know what? You have not seen anything here.
Right.
There's nothing to see here. It's a malfunction. It was actually broken. We're going to go fix this thing. Like,
right. You know, we're going to end it with that, though.
Well, you know, and y'all portion.
Right, yeah.
Did y'all set up the reset it up?
It's the book of Job, chapter 5, verse 12. He destroyed the device of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. So, you know, like the earth is going into, you know, how Esau came to roll back and dispose everything that he let that, you know, that was going on for history, you know.
Esau said the internet.
Yeah.
Well, really, Jake created that.
You created every major technological thing. And he said, you're going to go back to everything. You find Jake's hands behind every single thing.
I think you had to put it first.
Everything is by Jake.
If Jake dumbass didn't help them, shit, they wouldn't have fucking rockets. If Jake didn't fucking help, a bunch of niggas basically, they made a fucking movie about that helped them come up with the trajectory to fucking stay in the atmosphere without falling down. You know? No, that's fucking weird smoke.
You want to be tough.
He actually it's actually smart to wear that shit because I don't see niggas. You never know what's
Right, it's precaution.
It's precaution.
That's all. I want to do this. The Lord said he's going to take those little tools from this place and he's going to go in and make them shovel. They're going to have a pickaxe, they're going to have a shovel, you're going to have a whole device to go break the ground up and go back to work. And then you think you like it. So we need to go get it back to me. Where my and that's the I was with the demons out, you know, when I was in Florida, and there was like 6 weeks that falls by the soul for no reason. It's like, damn. And I'm sitting there, listen, in my mind, I'm looking like, I was thinking, if I had to go find somebody like right now, if he connects with me, I'll be knocked out. So I was going like you, I was thinking about what the condition. Now, okay, first off, when I hit my fucking boom, and I'm breaking it down for the right. You know, in my mind, I knew that if I did that to him, he would not have any answer for what I was doing. And I would have his pink, I would have his pink ass sitting up here wondering, why am I getting jacked up by this guy who's less than half of the guy? And that's how my mind was going on this a little simple, because the warriors will be training, right? When I see that shit, oh, gun here, crap here, got the head on there, you got the here. First of all, he not only security, he's lower level puck security. But this one, in his mind, he was walking like this.
Yeah, I know, like,
Even when somebody walks there behind him, he was like, you know what I'm saying?
That's actually Jake. I talked to him. That's actually
I wouldn't be surprised, but he's like,
Hey, that's Jake, man. I used to work for him.
But all the shit they do,
And then you know, okay, like I told my sister the other day, I said, Chicago, because my sister's Chicago, which is old man. All my sisters got a sister. That ain't my sister. All right, yeah. But she's a culture, right? She's been trying to get my sister to get her son in the post, too. And she said, look, don't worry about shit. You come alive, you in there. But she got raped before, she been there for so long. You know that these both mothers, but I told my sister, I said, no. So I said, Chicago's grimy as hell. Why do you think they always get both of them? Because either niggas go crazy, niggas get shot, but niggas say this ain't for me.
Smart, you look at what the old cops do.
I work in a different I work in a different
This motherfucker said, let the niggas kill each other. What the fuck you do with that? He said, you sit back here with us and let the niggas do that.
But that's what he's going to do. That's what they're all going to do. I've seen it. I've seen it. Because what they'll do is they'll...
Ain't he right there?
What they'll do, shoot him and shoot him. They'll just wait. The starting guy out with the start running to the... And then their buddy comes in, okay, we cool. And then they come back up, then they make a move. And you think they come out, no, that movie shit, that's movie shit. No, security do it. Well, no, they did cut the thing over. They would have had the take home. Right. And then when they,
Yeah. I be looking at them niggas like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
because they get a little badge next to you know. You see with the little picture. Excuse me, sir. You can't, you be looking at the little bit like, so you think, how fast you can throw that gun before I can disarm your way?
They know
They can process it.
a lot of the women they get in the shootout, they be like
Absolutely.
when they start shooting, they be high. Like they got them guns.
If the Americans do that in the American military, how much more in the American police? Because they did that in the video, it's still seared in my mind. These grown ass niggas with all kind of weaponry. I know my mom. Grown ass man. And you got weapons of war too.
All they did is shoot the soldier. Yeah. Fucking black ops.
See, now we got that spirit. Right over. The Maccabee, second Maccabee. He said Eleazar. He said not the righteous Eleazar. He was like, man, and this team of he of course he's Italian. He's going. Damn. So these went over. Oh shit.
He slid under the elephant, yeah. He fucking tried to do a move and didn't slide all the way under there.
He wasn't fast enough.
He said,
oops. But he succeeded though. He made himself a name.
Yeah, he got a name
right now.
He got a name. You know?
But he want the name and the glory of, or King David and Solomon.
Right.
Good name. Better be over. Exactly. And righteous. Right now. Abraham. Isaac. Jacob. Right? You go ahead and say Daniel. Right? These names, what bad have you heard? What bad movie have you heard about Abraham? Abraham was fucking what's his son? What bad movie have you heard about Abraham? What bad movie? What's that movie about King David? You know what I'm saying? Getting him quick.
They still making movies about coming out here. Exodus, gods, and kings. They making movies about it. You know what I'm saying? They making movies about it, man. Still to this day. Hey, Noah. They just made a whole other movie about Noah. Even though they completely butchered the movie, they fucked it up. Hey, but it also shows you that they know that and they know that the elect stuck in these bodies, change the darkness, which was being in earth. It was up in the stone in the earth. Yeah.
You see what else we saw fantasy?
Man, yeah.
So you get to be thrown off. Because he don't really sit. You know what I'm saying? You know, so especially if you're in the Lord, but he'll believe all Esau bullshit. Yes, sir? You know how you feel. And if you all break up, you don't have to but we still doing it. Yeah, no good.
chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man.
Is it not have entered? So when you think about the Lord says, "I love the house of many mansions," guess what? You understand that it's going to be right when I'm going to be when she came over the other day, I ain't seen her all super victory, right? One of the first things she came out of my mouth, my sister, first time was this is for the brother. They did everything they do here for the brother. As if like that was a bad thing. And it's like, bitch, that's your salvation.
But she don't even know the brothers that helped out so much. She don't even know it.
I told my sister, I said, bitch, I told you, I said, if you don't see a brother do one of these things, and they shut on, man, how you go out the boat and you just put $500 in my hand and walk away. Nobody see that shit.
Nobody sees that.
But you know what? That same guy you scoffing, we need. The lights goddamn paid. You silly bitch.
Fucking condo dude.
Come on.
We got gas in the motherfucking car.
Why you telling my business? Oh, that's my business. We all we got. That's why we love this ministry. This brotherhood. Because that's all we got. We have nothing outside of your home watching outside with this brotherhood. Everything else is fleeting and flies away. You know what I'm saying? But this is the real one. I can be like, and actually, you know, and let my guard down for half a fucking second. It's like we said earlier. Everything outside this truth is a bachelor. Everything. Going to work, having to do with your bum, having to do with your bitch, having to do with your children, having to do with your bills, having to do with Esau, having to do with your flesh, having to do with everything that's going to work. It's always a battle. For the moment right here, we actually battling too. We're battling to show our people the truth. But the difference is, we're battling together, which causes us to be able to relax from time to time, have a joke like Constantine said. Sometimes you gotta go ahead and make a joke to just keep from crying, man. You gotta laugh to keep from crying. If you take the heaviness and seriousness of the truth and the will of the Lord all the time, we will be over righteous and destroyers. Not only that, we enjoy what we do. Like the brothers sincerely collecting enough information to be able to be knowledgeable, to be able to filter everything that's happening in the news through scripture and wisdom. He said something I never, just earlier, inspection. I was going to say it more than I didn't have a look at the Egypt thing. Something you said, I still come back. It was about the whole, you equated us fucking and what them to another level where I didn't look at it like that. Now I'm going to revisit that. And I'm saying the spirit coming back in my mind, I'm going to revisit that and evolve from that. It's another fucking layer. It's always layers. Malcolm said it the other day. We were talking on the phone, and he said, bro, I'm not from that. The brother would say something from a different perspective, and I'm like, okay, I understand that. Oh, shit.
Never thought of it that way.
Not from that way. But that opens up another layer. And then, I think, and then you start peeling the layers of that onion back, and you get more understanding.
The beat, call them to the beat.
Come on, bro.
I had a dream about this years ago. I was with somebody, and it was like we was in the city. We got filled with water, and I started panicking. I was with somebody, deeper and deeper I got, the more cities, the more buildings I seen, the more people I seen, the more, I was like, damn, the deeper I swim, it's like the more shit I'm seeing. So, and I was with somebody, so basically what was like, the longer you dealing, is the longer, the deeper you can get this truth, you don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of
more
times.
afraid you get too. Because I didn't understand a lot of the angles of the gospel. Sometimes I was like, I don't know what to think. Now we hold in such high esteem and reverence because the Lord tells us the devil on it. This is the labor. Then when you be in it for a minute too, you start to get to that level of understanding. The more you in this, the more time you spend in,
Much you get and much you
require. Then you start seeing
Greater
the greater,
condemnation.
and then the greater demons, the greater affliction, because it's different levels. It's like playing a game. When you was on level 1, you went to the boss man on level 1, a little tough, but it was alright. Level 2, a little bit harder, but then we get that level 3, level 4, don't talk about level 10. Sometimes you gotta go play that game 20 times just to beat level 10. You gotta go start all over again, to go all the way up to the boss level to beat the boss guy. There's different
You
levels.
gotta learn certain shit. You gotta go fight a bunch of little motherfucking shits to level up to get, you know what I mean?
And that's the
Before
same
you
way
even go back to see if you can, then you go back to fight to see if you can strong. Find out, alright, I gotta go level up to more.
I told you, less than 3 lives. I don't have at least 4 lives. I don't have at least great. That's ridiculous. When you start doing that to the spiritual level, that's when you say, God damn it, I don't know if I'm going to get. Okay, Lord, you know what?
we all fucked up, man. It's just like yesterday, you know, I had to cook. I barbecue, I barbecue, but it's like, damn, you know, I ain't seen my kids in a while. My kids in Minnesota, they here, Florida has pretty good. You know, I was in the Twitch, my brother was in the story, but he like, nah, that's all good. Like, she do it all the time, you know what I mean? So, you're not doing it, you know, don't forget yourself. Hey, I was like, all right, I was convicted. Then you called me, you said that. I was like, oh, double cut. But the Lord gave me the balance, so we in hell, man. Don't be over righteous. Don't be over righteous.
Well, but I think I gave you the example. When we were first going to Passover, one of them fell on Shabbat. And on our couple days beforehand, the day of Larry, we were still in Shabbat. And then, and here we are at New York, and now you need gas, you need food. And if you put some letters along, I was to spend money. Cook, buy or sell, or cook whatever for Shabbat. Now we're on this journey for a holy mission. And in the midst of it, I ran out of gas. If we sit there and hold to the letter of the law, we're gonna miss Shabbat. We're gonna miss it. We're not gonna be able to get there in their place in time and so forth. And there's no way to have extra tank of gas on top of the car to fill it up without
20-gallon tank.
Bro, we in hell. So the Lord will keep us provisions in hell, deal with hell. You know what I'm saying? All right? But it's in the spirit. The song's coming right here to go through it. And we all want to end up loving us. Any student love us.
Alright, so with that, we're going to give all praise and honor for it too.
Yahweh, Ba'asim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asim, Wakakodash.
Share. Shalom.
Louise.
All right, Shalom.